What's up in there guys? Brian, the Three Topics Gamer here, and I just want to do this quick little channel update in the last few days of June in order to get us ready for everything that I hope to get done in July. And I'm just using this video as just a quick little channel update and as a way to kind of get some feedback from you so that I can be a little bit more productive next month. For starters, as I'm sure you can tell, I'll be going over, Versus Series top list videos and Patreon, which is something I kind of talked about during my yesterday's shorter stream of Doom, and I kind of want to just go into a little bit more detail about that. So starting off with the Versus Series. First off, I would just like to thank everyone that's enjoyed the most recent one, which was Dante from Dante's Inferno versus Gabriel. So far, the response to that has been much more positive than the previous match, which was Garrus versus Vectra. More people are seeing it, more people are commenting on it, and there's a lot of people that are asking a lot of questions, asking me not to stop the series. Some people are asking why the series is stopping. It's obvious. I mean, just fewer people are seeing the series. Believe it or not, more people are actually watching the first set of seasons more than they're watching the newer one, and so that's just a good way to kind of stop. And I've always considered this year to be a transitional year, going from 3TR to 3TG, because definitely sometime next year it'll be much more heavily focused on gaming content. So this is just a transitional year of knowing, what to stop, what to keep going, what to add, and that's really, at least for me, what this year has been all about. As some of you guys know, what the next matchup is going to be coming out late July. And on top of that, for those of you that have already forgotten, these are the last 4 matchups. I'm sure some of you guys are excited for them. One of those matchups in particular I'm a little bit suspicious about because of the performance of the last video that I did like that. So, if something happens and I do find an opportunity to change it, then I will. But as it stands, these are going to be the last Versus Series matchups that I work on for my channel, which, to be honest, by the time all these videos are done, I will have uploaded 50 matchups. I don't know about you, but I think 50 is a solid number. I mean, the 50 states, that's certainly more than enough for someone to binge, and that's a good amount of content. I think maybe later down the road, I might try to redo the audio of the first number of matchups for my first season, because even now, I openly admit that the audio is just really horrible because I didn't have the really good mic that I have now that I've been using to record. So that's something. So that's just pretty much all I want to talk about in terms of the Versus Series, and as for why we're moving in the direction that we are. Moving into top list videos. As a gaming channel, I'm trying to get up as much content as I can. I think I've done pretty good so far in terms of the worst to best series, but I really think that top list videos are something that I really need to really push myself into getting more of them uploaded, because I am trying to grow this channel a little bit faster. I'm trying to draw on more people, and I think the more top list videos I upload, I think it'll increase the odds of having more people come in, because this year has definitely been, in terms of subscriber growth, has definitely been the slowest in since almost the beginning of the channel's creation, which is surprising because I've been doing this for so long, and I think I've improved in just about every single department that a YouTuber could actually develop, and yet I'm slower than I was at the beginning, which I need to fix that quickly. So I'm using this video as just kind of a way to just welcome any top list ideas. I think instead of doing a top 10, I'm going to stick to a top 5. I'm going to take the inspirations from another YouTuber that I personally watch and enjoy her content, so I'm going to stick to top 5, so that a much shorter list, but a much more focused list, I think, is a better list. So if you out there have a top list idea that you think, a gaming focused top list video that you think would really draw people in, I would love all your guys' ideas. No matter who sees this video, please send me your ideas in the comment section. I'm going to put them in the list, and I'm doing them one by one, because as I really think about it, in terms of gaming content, I really don't have too many things to do. I mean, I do, people's questions every Friday. I do 2 streams for at least 2 hours a day, as if I can, on games that you guys are voting on, but I'm not sure if that's enough gaming content. I mean, I would like to do gaming news. If that's something that you guys would like me to, talk a little bit more on, that's cool. I I mean, it does say in my slogan, anything PlayStation, so I think I need to do a much better job at really talking about any updates that are PlayStation focused. And hopefully we will, PlayStation experience will return this year, because if it does, damn well I will be there and hope to get as much content and information that I can upload as possible. But heck, that hasn't been announced yet. Hopefully it will, since they were absent at this year's E3. And yeah, that's just really all I want to say in terms of top list videos, because just gaming content. We want to try to make this the strongest gaming channel that I can make it, and definitely going into next year, it will strictly be a much more focused channel on gaming. I mean, I think if there's like a video game based movie that gets released and I go see it, that's probably something I will probably end up reviewing. But in terms of movie reviews, I probably won't be doing that next year. So that's all I want to say in terms of top list videos and ideas that you guys can send me. Just trust me, again, any idea that you think would make for a good video that would certainly draw people in is something I would welcome. And the last topic I really want to talk about in terms of the channel update is Patreon. Now, I've always felt a little bit uncomfortable with the idea of Patreon. I personally do support two people on Patreon by quite a lot. But I wasn't really sure if it was something I should try. But I think moving forward, I think I need to have a little bit more confidence in myself and actually push the Patreon idea. The problem is I just don't know how to handle it. I would like to use Patreon really strictly, not for me personally, but really to get equipment. As it stands right now, the two biggest things that I would like to save up for, that I would love to use Patreon in order to pick up, is first off, I would love to get a lot of soundproofing foam that I could place around the room, because I think that it would not only add to the decoration, I think it could actually add to having better sound quality, because this is the main area that I do a lot of my filming, and I have noticed that there is sometimes an echo, or because there's not a lot of stuff in here, it can sometimes affect the mic, because I have a really good mic that I use for my camera that I'm using right now, but I think adding soundproofing foam would definitely help. And there's a lot of spaces, and I think that getting the color that matches my gaming chair, I think would just add, add to the decoration of the room. But most importantly, the biggest thing that I want to save up in order to get is basically the Elgato key light. The way my desk is set up, whenever I do streaming, at least streaming with retro gamings, and I have to use my camera, I can only do that during certain days because I have to use the natural lighting from the sun. That way you guys can see me. But if I actually have that key light, then I can pretty much stream it at any time. So if people would like me to start streaming like early in the morning or early at night on my off days, or just any time of the day, I think it would certainly add at least to the presentation of those streams. Because I think in the next few months I'm going to ask for like a schedule change that has me working like standard hours instead of just working strictly graveyard shifts. And I think that being able to stream during times where I think people are much more free, because I think that's the challenge of doing streams now, is that I kind of do it at times where people are either still at school, or they're at work, or they're on their way to work. And I have definitely seen different amounts of people show up at different times, so I'm just trying to get a concentrated, just a perfect time for streaming. And I think having that Elgato key light would definitely help in terms of just presentation and being able to allow me to stream just at any time. But when it comes to Patreon, the question that I have for you is, what is something you want? The main question that I want to hear from you guys in terms of Patreon is, what is something that you would want from me if you were to support me on Patreon? Because I have no idea. I mean, I do have my Patreon that's already online, that technically it's been up for like maybe a year and a half, but like I've had like 0 Patreon since then, because I just don't know what to give. I've always viewed Patreon is that if you do it, it kind of turns into a little bit of a business. So if people send you money, you should give them something that is worth that money. And that's something that just off the top of my head, I do not know. So again, if you guys have any ideas that you think would help or encourage people to support me on Patreon, what is something that you think is worth it? What is something you personally would want from me if you were to support me on Patreon? Please give me all your thoughts and ideas in the comments down below. And with that out of the way, I think that's pretty much everything I need to state in terms of my update going into July. So those are just my thoughts between Versus Series, Top List, and Patreon. Again, any ideas, any comments, anything that you think would help, be sure to tell me in the comments down below, and I will be sure to respond to you as quickly as I can. And if you like this little channel update for July of 2019, I would really appreciate it if you could share this on all your social media outlets. Hopefully we can spread the word and hopefully grow the channel in order to make everything better. So that said, I'd like to thank all of you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my content, and I will see you next time.